All right, so today we're going to deconstruct the really ambitious vision of an organization called XONJX. And we're going to do it by sticking strictly to their own documents, breaking down their goals, their structure, and their finances, slide by slide. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a simple raffle, or at least that's what it looks like at first.
Okay, let's just start right here. This single sentence, pulled straight from their materials, tells you almost everything you need to know. Right off the bat, they're saying, hey, pay attention. This isn't what you think it is. It's being framed as something much, much bigger, a covenant pathway. That's our first big clue that there's a lot more going on under the hood.
So, how do you get into the world of XONJ? Well, the journey begins with something anyone can get excited about, a luxury raffle. The prize is a trip to Jamaica, but even that is presented as more than a vacation. It's a cultural immersion. This is the front door, the public-facing way into their entire system.
And look, the prize is no joke. As you can see from the details here, we're talking about an all-inclusive getaway to Jamaica worth up to $6 grand. You've got private accommodations, gourmet meals. It's a pretty sweet deal. This is the classic high-value hook, right? It's designed to catch your eye and get you interested.
Now, the entry process itself looks simple enough. You buy a 25-pound ticket through PayPal, that transaction number is your entry, and hey, subscribe to their YouTube channel and you get a bonus entry. Pretty standard stuff for an online raffle. But, and this is the important part, that little 25-pound purchase is the key that opens the door to a much, much bigger system.
And this is where everything pivots. You think you've just bought a chance to win a vacation, right? But what their documents show is that that single transaction is really just the first step into something way more involved than a simple giveaway.
Because, see, in the XONJC world, that raffle ticket isn't just a shot at winning a trip. It's your ticket into a whole multi-level membership program, where each step up the ladder requires a bigger commitment and, they say, unlocks bigger rewards.
And here's where the commitment level just explodes. To get to the first level, the base tier, you have to go from that one-time 25-pound ticket to buying 4 75-pound tickets times every single week. That's 300 pounds a week. You keep that up for 3 weeks, you hit silver. To get to gold, you need to be active for 60 days and add 2 monthly subscriptions at 500 pounds each. It very quickly turns what looked like a fun little raffle into a really significant ongoing financial obligation.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, what's making all of this tick? What's the engine behind this whole thing? Well, according to their documents, it's a pretty sophisticated setup built on crypto, AI, and a decentralized structure. This is the tech they say keeps it all transparent and running smoothly. Now, at the very core of their digital economy, you've got these Tink gold shares, or TTGS. The easiest way to wrap your head around them is to think of them as like the company's internal stock. They're presented as these special share NFTs that members can collect, stake, which is kind of like locking them up in a savings account to earn rewards, and use to vote on how the organization is run. The whole thing is supposed to be what's called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and this is a really key piece of the puzzle. The big idea here is that there's no central boss. It's all supposed to be run by the members themselves, which they claim guarantees everything is fair and transparent, from making sure the raffle draws are secure to managing the community's assets.
And then there's the AI. This is pretty wild. The documents describe this whole system of AI agents, represented by these mascot avatars, that basically handle almost everything. We're talking user onboarding, verifying identities, managing digital wallets, and even controlling who gets into which membership tier, all while creating a permanent, unchangeable record of it all.
All right, let's get to what is, for many people, probably the heart of the matter, the money. And, wow, the potential for returns described in these materials is, well, it's a huge claim. So the documents lay out this formula. It's a theoretical growth model based on an absolutely massive 10% daily compounding return. The idea is that whatever you put in could grow by 10% every single day for a month. And to show you what that could mean, they use their own example. You put in £3,000, and after just 30 days, according to this formula, you'd have a potential net gain of nearly £50,000 in 1 month. But, and this is probably the most important slide we're going to look at, you have to see this. This is a direct quote from the very same documents. It says very clearly that all rewards are promotional, they're variable, and they can be changed or even suspended. And then the knockout line, no guaranteed returns are offered. So you have the incredible growth model on one hand and this very direct disclaimer on the other.
So if we pull back from the numbers and the tech for a second, what's the grand plan here? The ultimate goal for XOJX is, well, it's huge, it's global, and as that first quote hinted, it's tied directly to a faith-based mission to build what they refer to as God's kingdom on earth.
And their financial plan seems to back up that member-focused idea. They have this thing called a revenue waterfall. And look at this, a whopping 69% of the revenue is supposed to go straight back to the people holding the tokens. The rest is split between running the operations, building up reserves, and paying the trustees.
And when we say the vision is big, we are not kidding. Just look at this list. This goes so far beyond a raffle or an investment club. We're talking about massive, real-world projects, turning huge container ships into floating solar parks and spas, launching new school programs, building agricultural parks in Jamaica, and even conducting clinical research. The whole shebang.
So when you put it all together, what are we left with? You've got this incredibly complex, deeply ambitious system, blending faith, decentralized finance, and global development. And it all seems to boil down to one fundamental question. Is this a revolutionary blueprint for the future of community empowerment, or is it a vision so incredibly complex that it might just be impossible to pull off?